Welcome to Furious Fiction. I'm Jules Graham, and with me is Mark Mustian, and today we are talking with...
We're talking to Adam Haslett. He's the author of Union Atlantic. Adam, thanks for being with us. Before we get into Union Atlantic, I wanted to ask you, we were talking a little bit earlier about that, earlier this fall, Adam had been at a writer's colony or writers. Tell us about that. What was that like?
Well, it's a place in New Hampshire called the McDowell Colony, where artists go from anywhere from 2 to 8 weeks, and you get a cabin in the woods all to yourself. And
was it helpful, or did you like it, or was it productive?
It was. I mean, a lot of distractions get taken away. You don't have to worry about where you're going to get dinner, about cleaning and carrying on with your life. You just get to worry about writing fiction, and to me, it lets me go to places inside, sort of psychically, that I might not otherwise go, because it's kind of a safe container.
Well, I would like to get inside that psychic place that you go, because if you 10 years ago worked out that we were going to have the economic downturn that we had, because I understand that's when you started working on this.
Yeah, why didn't we buy stocks?
Really,
your advice.
I know. I want the heads up next time.
Yeah, well, it's funny, because I did write the book from 2003 to 2008, and I finished it the week that Lehman Brothers collapsed.
Wow.
So, in many ways, it's a book not about the actual crash, but a book about the culture that led to it. And I'd spent 5 years wondering whether anybody would think it mattered what banks did or what the Fed did. And, of course, history, unfortunately, solved that problem.
I mean, what got you going on that? I mean, what made you even start down that path?
Well, I think, as probably all of us are now more aware of, there are these huge largely anonymous institutions like the Federal Reserve, or like these big banks, that have an enormous influence over all of our lives.
Yes, so
yet
powerful.
We don't really understand. Yeah, we don't really understand how much, or how they work, or how they affect our everyday life. And I remember a quote from Norman Mailer. It said that post-war American fiction had taught us a lot about the little guy, but less about the mind of the powerful. And so I wanted to put some characters inside these institutions, and from a fiction writer's point of view, find out what made them tick.
And then, of course, you have Charlotte, who is old school and trying to do the right thing and trying to preserve historic things. And when she becomes unhinged, have you actually witnessed someone become totally unhinged? Because you write about it well.
Not quite in that way. I mean, the dogs that are talking to her and everything, that was all an imaginative invention. But I did grow up in a place where there was this push and pull between a kind of older world, more traditional social order, and new money. So, which is something that I'm sure you guys in Florida see too.
We do. Tell us, if you can, Adam, what are you working on next? What's coming next?
I'm working on a new novel. It's about a family. It's called Kindness, told from a lot of different first-person points of view, and a little more on the personal family side, and maybe less on the big economic side.
Did you feel, you make a point in one of your books that you like to bring the reader in, and you like to write what you would read personally. Do you feel like you achieved that with this book?
In this case, I mean, I hope so. I think it was, I do like fiction that tries to take some account of what it's like to be alive today, and not just, what it was in the past or what it was in a small degree of today, but sort of try to take a big social look at life in this country. So that was one of my aims. I got to leave it to the readers to decide whether I succeeded.
Well, you succeeded from our standpoint.
Indeed.
And thank you so much. Adam Haslett is the author of Union Atlantic. We'll look forward to his new work, Kindness, that's coming out soon. Thanks again.
Join us next time for Furious Fiction.